Okay, hi everybody, it is Bonka922. Let's get the chapter reviews going again. I just did 0, which I will upload after this video, which is going to be Taizai. Wow, this chapter! This chapter had a lot of things. It had feels and a what the fuck in the end. So this was satisfying. It answered some really important questions about the whole thing with the Great Holy Knight's death. And here's another thing that I forgot to mention last week. Someone put it in the comment section. Do you still have Bond? We don't know what he's doing. Bond. We still have him. We haven't seen him in like so long, and people might not remember this, but the Goddess Clan told him to go kill Melas, and I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, this chapter, Nanatsu no Taizai, 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 84, all that ends well. What was it called? All's well that ends well. Great chapter. We see the sixth sin, Merlin, Boar's sin of gluttony. Oh. And she's saying it's been a long time, comrades, and so on and so forth. Now, the general aspect about Merlin is that she wasn't with hendrickson. That was the truth. She wasn't with. She was with Arthur. Surprisingly enough, was Arthur's teacher supposed to, which is to be expected because that is when you look at the history books. Well, to some extent, that's what Merlin. That's where her, she's position is supposed to be with. Person she's supposed to be with. In that regard. So she calls them comrades, and Arthur basically saying she's my irreplaceable friend and my teacher. And she's basically asking, Melas, why you have the scary face, and saying that I have a mountain of questions to ask you, but what we need to do right now is, and she's like, you're absolutely right. And then boom, like, you want some mega instant transmission shit. I want to see more of her. Like, she's just been introduced. I want to see more of her. Like, because I don't think, I really doubt the only magic she can do is just, like, transporting people. I think it's more than that. Because, like, in this chapter, she explains, like, the cube thing that her apprentice, we see by the way, we see what her apprentice looks like. She's cute, I guess. And she explains how it works and basically where it came from and everything, that magic. She breaks it and enters the room instant. Like, no fucks are given. Like she just opens the door and I'm like, holy shit. She broke the spell. And I want to see more of her because I can't see that being the only thing she can do. Transport people and stuff. But they're actually outside the royal bed's chambers, ready to go in. And unfortunately, at that position with them is Dawn Roar. And they try to, like, attack them, kind of, but they don't. And she's basically explaining, it must be the doing of my worthless apprentice. This is magic that denies entry to anyone but the caster. Perfect cube. And like, they did try to attack Gauther and shit, and he's like, he's saying that he basically can't break the door, threat her, and so on and so forth. And they're like saying to Gauther, why are you laughing? Read the mood. And then Melas is there, and he knocks on the door, and he says, it's you, I came for you, yay, yay, yay. Oh, by the way, to Melas, I have this to say. Like, this chapter, he was... That's a no-no, man. you'll see. I'll tell you guys what he did. It was like, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Is it still going? Okay. That was weird. It was freezing on me. But anyway, so basically they're going in there and so on and so forth, saying basically his strength won't be able to destroy it. It's perfect cube, and it was a power that was from Demon World, apparently, from the demons. And so she's like, "That's right. Even if you were all attacked together, you wouldn't have scratched. Too bad for you. Serves you right." So, but here comes Merlin. She takes the handles of the door and just goes like this. Like, no fucks are given. She just breaks. She just opens the door. I'm like, no one could do that. But this is Merlin. So she basically opens the door, and they go in there, and it's like, she basically erased it. Absolute cancel. And she's like, that's cheating. And then we see Meliodas and Elizabeth, and she's like, it hasn't been even a day, but I wanted to see you again so much. And he's like, there. He's squeezing Elizabeth's breasts in front of her father. Meliodas, man. Come on. It's the king. But pretty much, they all get together, essentially, and, a lot of shit happened in this chapter. Give or take. They get together, and they're like, hey, they're talking small talk, and they're wondering what happened to them. And, they're saying His Majesty, and it's, like, understood. And Meliodas is saying, basically, now that we take Elizabeth, and Hendrickson has been defeated, the demon resurrection plan has failed, what's left is to free the kingdom. What will you do, Dreyfus? Now, here's the thing. I want to bring up Dreyfus, because I really have this to say about him. Wow. In this chapter. Because he basically saying, oh, you were the ones who killed my brother and shit. But Margaret's there. And she says, no, you were the one. So basically it was revealed that it wasn't the 7 deadly sins that did that. Great Holy Knight Zarathos. And he's like, we basically say Margaret saying, I saw it. The despicable scene of you and your accomplice Hendrickson killing Great Holy Knight Zarathos. And that's when she became the hostage of, during that scene, when that happened, Gil Thunder and Margaret became the hostages of Vivian, who is Merlin's apprentice. And they basically say this, and so on and so forth. And his motive was his jealousy of his brother Zarathos. And was following the orders of Hendrickson, deposing him, blah, blah, blah. And then Hauser's like, defend yourself. And he's like, I've lost. Just kill me. And then Hauser's like, why? He's like, how did this come to this? All I ever wanted to was to be a father that my son could be proud of. And he's like, Grimoire is still alive too. And then we have Meliodas telling him he's still alive. That was a crazy scene. So pretty much what ended on with that scenario. Dreyfus was jealous of his brother. That's why he betrayed him. Killed him. With Hendrickson. But, as he was explaining in that scene, the way he looked at it, the trust and he had with Hendrickson, he didn't know him after a certain amount of time. He just kept going like this. There's this huge gap, massive gap between the relationship between him and Hendrickson. And basically, he fears this news and he's crying, and that ends with that. All's well that ends well. Kind of like a little scenario. And then we see Vivian. He's like, it's over, Gil. And then it's not over. Hendrickson is still alive? What? Sure enough, he is. And he's like, why do you weep? Desire much to be back once more. Hendrickson? Nothing is over, he says. And he just stands there. Oh my god, this motherfucker! Which I have to say, I'm kind of surprised he's still alive. But at the same time, when you look at him, when you get to see him, one eye is black. So you could pretty much gather that, I'm not going to say this was expected, but because of the fact that he had the same, or was using the same attacks and abilities as Meliodas, you can gather that, yeah, you kind of saw this coming. Basically, he stands there and he's basically saying the party of hell is just beginning. His bizarre appearance, his invincible smile. The messenger of hell, Hendrickson, to be continued in chapter 85. Beginning of the party. So, he basically has this power of hell. And the way Hendrickson looks here, it is of his younger self. So you can really, really make the case that he's fucking immortal. And if he's immortal, holy shit. You know? But this should get interesting now for next week as far as Seven Deadly Sins is concerned. Because really think about it. When you really think about it. We have Bon, who just got his clan, man. That's like the wild card, in my opinion. That's like the huge, massive wild card right now. And you have that. Hendrickson's still alive. So they're going to have to do something. So, and all this is happening. So, what I believe will essentially occur is we will probably have them fighting Hendrickson next week. I don't know though when Bond's going to make his appearance. That's the real wild card. That's the real guesser. Like, when will Bond make his appearance and seemingly make the biggest decision of his life? Attempt to kill Meliodas. That should be interesting. But yeah, I give this, like I said, 4.5 out of 5. Pretty good chapter. The gang's all there. All's well that ends well. Well, guess what? It's not over yet. Still got shit to do. But this should be interesting for next week. And it's going to be chapter 85. Now, it's getting high up there, man. It's getting high for Seven Deadly Sins. And I don't know when the anime is coming out. Supposedly, that's the story. The anime is coming out. But, it's good to know. It's good to know. So, I say for that, and in that regard, it's got to get high. It's got to get high in the episode, in the chapters before, they come out with the anime. But yeah, that's pretty much the story, people. Bonkai Night 22. I'll see you guys later. How'd you say, man? It's like that song. Evil never dies. Or, the good die young, evil lasts forever. However which one you take it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.